Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. With what we know about release plans for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen is self-publishing and as such doesn't have hard deadlines or release dates. This is a massively double-edged sword, with them being able to work on a task for as long as they want to hopefully get it perfect or in a great state, but the development process is potentially greatly increased because of this, with parts getting delayed and reworked. This is part of my FAQ series, and I will update it if anything changes, but is the current most accurate release schedule and plans for Squadron 42 Episode 1 and Star Citizen's Persistent Universe. Squadron 42 release plans. Squadron 42 is the standalone single-player campaign of Star Citizen. Squadron 42 Episode 1 has plans to release in 2020, but no actual date confirmed. The Squadron 42 Episode 1 roadmap currently shows them optimistically in beta by the end of Q2, so June 2020. There is also Squadron 42 Episode 2 and Episode 3, which are supposedly AAA games in their own right, and they are not the splitting up of Squadron 42, they are additional games effectively. The last word that we had on the release dates for these was roughly 2 years after each other, so Episode 2 would be 2 years after Episode 1 released, and Episode 3 would be 2 years after Episode 2 released. Squadron 42 Episode 1 to 3 are all supposedly set before the Persistent Universe takes place. Your progress in Episode 1 to 3 will be retroactively applied to your character in the Persistent Universe, giving you unlocks such as access to military equipment and ships. An example of this is the civilian version of the F-8 Lightning heavy fighter, the F-8C, which would be unlocked after reaching a certain point in Squadron 42 Episode 1. You can play Squadron or Star Citizen entirely separately of each other though, you do not need both. What are Star Citizen's Persistent Universe release plans? Star Citizen's Persistent Universe, which is the multiplayer aspect of Star Citizen, is planned to have 4 major live patch releases each year indefinitely. These will fall around the same time each annum, with live builds Q1 end of March, Q2 end of June, Q3 end of September to mid-October to coincide with CitizenCon, they've said, and Q4 end of December. There will still be minor patches and server hotfixes in addition to these patches though. There has also been a case where they split a major patch in the case of 3.3 and 3.3.5, where they wanted to get object container streaming in before 3.4's release, though this is less likely to occur now in the future, as they have made the roadmap less aggressively scheduled, so they can say with a high level of confidence that features are going to be there and not move so much, although delays and movement of features, additions to features, that sort of stuff are inevitable. And you can see the latest roadmap linked down below. Prior to these major patches, typically up to 4 weeks before, they will have an Evocati or early test release phase, which is limited to Evocati test flight, a small group of select backers that help test very buggy versions of the game, and then that will go on to a PTU, a wider test release, before going to a live release. These patches might have very special test conditions, they may have limited content which they keep on adding to, major bugs, and or be significantly more unstable than a live build. The idea here is that they quash bugs and test things before they go live. Star Citizen's release date is a bit harder to determine. They have stated that they consider it as kind of a no more resets release after they've completed their remaining 3 pillars. As currently in Star Citizen's Persistent Universe, progression is reset when it comes to your ships that you've bought in-game, items you've bought in-game, and currency that you've made in-game with those major releases and with some minor updates as well. So you never know when your progress is basically going to be set. But they've said that they're going for this no more resets, progress will continue kind of phase after they finish their 3 remaining pillars of the game, those being group and org features, full persistence, and then finishing with working server meshing. I'll take the appropriate clip from Chris Roberts when he was talking about it at the 2948 CitizenCon Road to Release.
So from our standpoint, in terms of what we would think is the experience when you guys can sit in and play the game day after day and not worry about it getting wiped, not worrying about, oh, I'm going to do something for a day or two and there's no point because they're going to reset the system. When we get to full persistence and server meshing, that's our marker. And sure, after that, we've got planets to do and star systems, and we're going to have continual feature development. But this is an online live game, and so for us, we don't have a particular viewpoint in terms of, oh, that's it. This is where we finish it, and we don't do any more work. It's like literally, we kind of view, as long as you guys want to live in this universe, every 3 months, we're giving you a build, and here you are, and here's a bit more, and here's a bit more, and here's a bit more. And when we get to the full persistence and server meshing, I think at that point, that's when we're not going to be resetting the servers. It's when it will be an ongoing, living, breathing game. And that, I'm not going to give you a date, but... but you can watch on our roadmap as we develop it. And just watch for that, because us internally, those are what we view as our sort of cornerstones that we need to get to. And yes, there's a lot of other things that we've talked about that we're also working on. But when we get that, we feel like it will be a game like no other.
So to me, that sounds like a soft release with meaningful, continuous progression and decisions once server meshing is fully in and working as intended. Obviously, dozens of other features and expansions to the gameplay area are happening simultaneously to that. The focus in 2019 and at least early 2020 is to get Squadron 42 Episode 1 out and all of its features, where possible, into the persistent universe. Getting features ready for the persistent universe can require more work, as they need to be working in a multiplayer environment and might have some extra complexities that the PU affords that Squadron 42 does not. Full persistence is being worked on now, and some of the backbone of server meshing is also seeing work. This also requires servers to be as optimized as possible, which is an ongoing task and will eventually allow more players into each server instance, which is currently locked at time of recording to 50. Full persistence is likely to be on the roadmap for early 2020, but no confirmations on that. I am expecting personally no more resets gameplay in late 2021, mid 2022, as I suspect they'll want to fully dial in server meshing. There is still a huge amount for them to do even after that, but their plan is to continue to release more for the persistent universe, more for Star Citizen every 3 months. Please tell me what you think about this current release schedule and plans for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen in the comments below. I'll update these videos as and when we know more. And if you'd like a breakdown of exactly what all these different features are, like full persistence and server meshing and the new flight model, things like that, please check out the rest of the series, the Star Citizen FAQ, which goes through everything like that. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. For February, it's for a Cutlass Black and Star Citizen game package. All you need to do is be subscribed to the channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. If you don't have a gaming PC yet, or you are upgrading, instead consider Shadow Cloud Gaming. They allow you to leverage the powers of the internet to stream a high-spec Windows 10 environment to any other PC, Mac, or device like a smartphone or tablet. It is working really well in Star Citizen's 3.4 branch, and be sure to use the code BoredGamer if you do decide to check it out to get a discount. Links below. This channel exists because of its community. If you wish to support the channel further, below there are links to Patreon, Subscribestar, and there's the YouTube channel memberships, literally the join button below this video. VIPs do get some exclusive stuff and early content as a thank you as well. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or just want to say hi, please drop a comment below or poke me on discord.gg/BoredGamer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.